See, now let us come to the first part of the adsorption chemistry. That is first part of the surface chemistry, that is adsorption part. See, what is adsorption? First of all, I told you it is a surface phenomenon. Adsorption is a surface phenomenon. Only surface of the material is involved in this process, not interior of the material. Like corrosion of the iron, surface is involved. The second thing is the solid surface of the solid and liquid both are experiencing the lot of strain due to residual forces. Surface of the solids and liquids are unsaturation. Some forces are acting, residual forces are acting on the surface, along the surface of the solids and liquids. This is the property of the solid and liquid. Due to these unneutralized forces of the surfaces of the solids and liquids, they get a property of the attracting the molecules of the other substance and holding the molecules of the other substance on its surface. This phenomena is called as the adsorption. That is, the surface of the solid has some residual forces, unneutralized valencies on its surface. Through these unneutralized forces or attractions, it attracts and retains the molecules of the other substance like gas, liquid molecules or solid, whatever it is. That is the phenomena in which, what is called as adsorption, the phenomena in which the surface of a solid or liquid attracts and retains the molecules of the other substance is called as the adsorption. Here, one is attracting the molecules of the other substance. This is due to the, it is a surface phenomenon. This is due to the, that is surface attractions. The process of accumulation of the molecules of a particular substance on the surface of the another substance is called as the adsorption. The process of, again I am defining, the process of the accumulation of molecules of the one substance on the surface of the other substance is called as the adsorption. See here, the substance which is adsorbed on the surface of the other substance is called as the adsorbate. Here two things are involved. One is providing the surface, one is using its surface. The substance which uses its surface for the adsorption is called as the adsorbent. It is called as the adsorbent. This is surface is active. Active uses its surface for this phenomenon. The other one is called as the second component is called as the adsorbate. B-A-T-E, adsorbate. So that is the molecules of the substance which are held up on the surface of the adsorbent are called as the adsorbate. So that is the substance which is attracted by the surface of the adsorbent and held up on the surface of the adsorbent is called as the adsorbate. The adsorbent can be a solid or it can be a liquid. It cannot be a gas. A gas cannot act as an adsorbent. But adsorbent, the molecules of the substance which are held up on the surface of the other substance, the substance whose molecules are held up on the surface of the another substance is called as the adsorbate. The adsorbate can be solid, it can be liquid, it can be gas. So, and in the adsorption phenomena, more common adsorption phenomena is that adsorption of the gas on the surface of the solid. That is where adsorbent is solid, adsorbate is gas. Molecules of a gas is held up on the surface of a solid, active surface of a solid. This phenomena is called as the adsorption. The process of accumulation of molecules of the one substance, adsorbate molecules, on the surface of the another substance, that is on the adsorbent surface, is called as the adsorption. That phenomena is called as the adsorption. The material which is providing the surface is called as the adsorbent. The molecules of the substance which are held up on the surface of the adsorbent is called as the adsorbate. The more common phenomena of adsorption is adsorption of a gas on a surface of a solid. So if you come to this is adsorbent, this is silica gel, common silica gel, nothing but the sand that is specially prepared, that silica gel, that is activated charcoal, that is nothing but the carbon powder indirectly, that is animal charcoal, these are all that is silica gel over, that is Al2O3, aluminum oxide, that is alumina gel, So like this there are many things, that is we can take the finely divided metal powders, powdered metals like that is platinum, palladium, that's nickel, that is like this we can take about many things what is there, and these are all that is the example of adsorbent. The surface of the solid, and remember surface of the solid and surface of the liquid has some residual forces. some residual forces are acting along the surface of the solids and surface of the liquids. How they are arise and how they come, that is a different story. The surface of the solid is active. It has the ability to attract and retain the molecules of the other substance. The residual forces left on the surface of the adsorbent is mainly responsible for the phenomena of adsorption. So, if you come to the adsorbate, there can be anything, that is gases, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, ammonia, that is HCl, chlorine. So, that is the fundamental gases, or that is anything, the gases, I have taken the word set of gases, all gases you can take that is, I told you ethylene is adsorbed on the surface of the nickel for the hydrogenation of the ethylene. That is a Sabatius-Sundance reaction. That is like this, and it can be any material. That is you can take the solid, or you can take the word solid dye and add to the water, and now we add that is activated charcoal to that, carbon powder to it. That is, it absorbs the dye part. The solution becomes the colorless. Here, dye is a solid dissolved in the water. Similarly, in anything, that this can be it can be a solid, or it can be a liquid, or it can be a gas. It can be a gas. So this is the phenomenon. Let me take some examples of the adsorption, and then I will explain why the surface of the solids and liquids are showing a special property of adsorption. Why do they have the residual forces? Why do they attract the molecules of the other substance? Why do they show the phenomena? Those residual attractions are responsible for the phenomena of adsorption. Right? So let me take the first, what is see, and this is a system to which this is manometer is, this is hydrogen gas. It has its own pressure. Pressure of the gas is proportional to the amount of the gas, that is material, that is gas present in the system. To this add the coke, that is carbon powder is added to this, activated charcoal is added to this. Then this is the material added, then what happens? The hydrogen molecules are adsorbed on the surface of this carbon powder. So that is, the surface is active, it is attracting that is hydrogen molecules that are present in the container. These molecules, some of the molecules leaving the gas phase and held up on the surface of that is solid surface. Due to this, number of molecules present in the gas phase are decreases. That is, P is proportional to N. Number of molecules are number of. As the number of molecules in the gas phase decreases, then what happens? Pressure decreases. Automatically, immediately the pressure of the gas decreases. See, therefore, it is an example of the adsorption. Why pressure is decreased? That is the adsorption phenomenon. The surface is attracting the molecules of this one. I am taking some examples of the adsorption. Now I am taking the other example. This is the acetic acid solution. Say the 1 molar acetic acid solution, short form of the acetic acid formula is ACOH. That is nothing but the molar solution of the acetic acid. I know the concentration. I prepared the acetic acid solution, 1 molar concentration is adjusted, that is taken into a beaker. Now to this, charcoal is added, that is activated charcoal is added. Charcoal is added to this. Then what happens? This is the water plus acetic acid. The acetic acid molecules are, that is, adsorbed on the surface of the charcoal. So that is, from the solution phase, the acetic acid is going into the and absorbing on the surface of the charcoal is attracting the molecules of the acetic acid. Therefore, the surface is fully covered with the acetic acid molecules. They are leaving the, so number of molecules present in the solution phase decreasing and held up on this. I am not bothered here, the concentration here. So due to this, the 1 molar solution, after the addition of this, take the small amount of the acetic acid solution, 1 ml or 2 ml, titrate it and find out there are standard procedures to find out the concentration. That is, find out the concentration of the acetic acid, it will be less than 1 molar. Where it has gone, it is held up with the surface of the catalyst, surface of the, that is adsorbent. Now here, the charcoal is the adsorbent. It is, charcoal is the adsorbent and that is acetic acid is the adsorbent which is held on the surface of the charcoal. This is providing the surface. These are attracted by the surface of the adsorbent and this adsorbate. Concentration is decreasing. So now you take the thing. So this is the a particular experiment. See, let me design like this, like burette. It is a column. This is the charcoal is taken. It is the bed of charcoal. There will be a supporter. This is the supporter in the column. This is the supporter. This is the charcoal. This is a good adsorbent. What can I do? This is a good adsorbent. Very, very commonly used. Now you take this is the water. Add some dye to the water solution. Dye is added to this. Now it becomes the color. Color is distributed in the water. There are many dyes. Color. Take the ink. What you are using, the blue ink. Add this becomes the blue. Or add a few drops of the red ink. That is, it becomes the red. Take the red clearly visible. It is a red solution. Now you pour on this. So this column is now the solution is poured on this. This is the dye solution. So what happens? This is passing through the charcoal bed. When the water and dye both are coming through the penetrating through the bed of the charcoal, that is, the dye is absorbed by the dye held up with the charcoal and only clear solution, water, comes out. Colorless solution comes out. That is, that it is separating selectively it is taking the dye from the solution. It is an adsorption. No chemical reaction at all. Separating. In the sugar industry, what we do is, we crush the cane sugar. Cane is crushed. So greeny juice comes out. Liquidous part comes out. So they do several procedures are there. This is not the place to discuss about the extraction or isolation of the isolation. We are not preparing. Sucrose we are not preparing. The sucrose is existing in the cane sugar. That we are crushing and that is taking a green liquidous part which contains the dissolved, that is sucrose. Now what we are doing? We are crystallizing. There are several fixed procedure, but ultimately the sugar that you get is the colored one. The impurities will be there. Sugar is actually colorless. That's the white crystalline substance. But very difficult to remove all the impurities, other coloring materials associated with it. And during the process also certain things are added. So after the process is over, the main process left is the decolorization, removal of the colored materials from the sugar. So finally, that is that solution of the sugar is passed to the similar the charcoal. Charcoal is used. Carbon powder is used. So when it passes through this one, it absorbs the coloring material. Coloring material is held up with absorbed by the charcoal, and only that the colorless solution comes out, which on cooling gives the crystals of the sugar. Sugar is highly soluble in the water. The yield is very less. That is, the only 40 to 50% of the sugar comes out, and remaining goes with the what, the liquidous part, which cannot be crystallized. That is used. That is called as the molasses. That is used for the preparation of the ethyl alcohol. Industrial preparation of ethyl alcohol from the molasses. Molasses is nothing but the waste product of the sugar industry, which contains the considerable amount of sucrose. We are by using the by applying the bacterial action, biological procedures, biochemical procedures, using the yeast, that is, we are conducting the fermentation of that is leftover sugar and converting the ultimately into the ethyl alcohol. The process of conversion of the complex organic compounds into simple organic compounds by using the microorganism, yeast and bacteria, is called as the fermentation process. So that is used for this one. So anyhow, in the sugar industry, that is for the decolorization of the sugar, to eliminate the coloring materials from the sugar, that is adsorption principle is used. So there are several things. So if the humidity is, that is silicon, that is silica gel is the one of the best that is adsorbent. Is the best adsorbent. What they do? That is silica gel. It absorbs the water vapor. So if it is kept in the corner of the room, it absorbs that is water vapor associated with the air. So it decreases the humidity content in the air. So normally it absorbs the H2 and it decreases the humidity in the room. So normally in the packings of that is pharmaceutical formulations, that is capsules and all these things which are affected by the moisture, they put the small bag of the silica gel which absorbs the, whenever you open this, the tablets the capsules come into contact with the air which contains that is water vapor. So immediately if you put this one, that the water vapor is trapped inside. Therefore, this silica gel absorbs those water vapor and protects your drugs, that is the medicines, from the effect of the water vapor. So to maintain to eliminate that is water vapor from the system, that is silica gel is used, that works according to that is adsorption principle. So this is adsorption. So that is, I define the word adsorption. Second thing, the main thing is why the surface of the solid is a strained system. Why surface is showing the word strain, unsaturated. Why it has the residual forces. This is phenomena of adsorption is due to that is unneutralized forces that are acting along the surface of the solids and liquids. How these solids and liquids are acquiring residual forces, residual attractions. What is the principle involved here? What is the chemistry part of it? See, if you come to the first part of it, see, this is the atom or molecule. If you say the molecule, there may be more than one nuclei. Several atoms may be involved. Each atom has its own nuclei. Let me take the one single piece, that is the atom, molecule. And there is a nucleus. The nucleus is attracting the electrons. You know that this is around nucleus. There are some orbits. The electrons are filled in the orbit, and that's attracting the nucleus. And because of the attractions between the nucleus and the electron, they remain in that is fixed positions in the atom. That is this one. So this is the boundary of the atom or molecule. So this is extending the attractions with the electron that are present in the first orbit, second orbit, principal quantum number, third principal quantum number, and last principal quantum number. Nucleus is extending its attractions with the electrons present in the moiety of the atom, and it is extending up to here. Attractions are existing up to boundary. See, it is attracting the electrons here. It has the effect at this point. It has the effect between this. It affects between this. It affects. It has the extend the attractions here. It extend the attractions up to the last. That's the boundary of the atom. See, now the question is to what about the attractions of the nucleus outside the boundary of the atom? I am taking the last the orbit of the final orbit of the atom as the boundary of the atom for our convenience. Yes, why not? As the distance from the nucleus increases, the attractions decreases, but still it can have the extending its attractions even outside the boundary of the atom. Outside the boundary of the atom, the attractions are not zero. The attractions of the nucleus are not ended with the boundary, but the extended attractions outside the nucleus or outside the boundary is very weak. So, because due to this, that is, the nucleus is attracting its own electrons, and it is also attracting, it is extending its attractions on the surface of the atom. The surface of the atom has some tendency to attract the other things because of the nuclear attractions. The residual nuclear forces, entire surface is active. Through these attractions, it can establish the attractions with the other atoms which is around it. So it can add this is another atom of same kind. Surface is active, surface is active. A sort of attractions are established between the atoms. They may be weak, but surface is active. Molecular surface of a molecule is active. I told you there is no difference between the molecule and atom regarding this phenomena is concerned. If you say the atom, there may be only one nucleus. If you say the word molecule, that is a group of atoms, there are many nuclei, more than one nuclei. Totally, every particle has a molecule or atom has its own boundary, its own trajectory. These nuclei are extending their attractions on the surface of the trajectory of the molecule. Therefore, molecular surface has some residual forces. So, if the suitable material is kept nearer to that one, then what happens? Through its surface, it can establish a molecule can establish the attractions with the new substance which is kept near to it. These are called as the intermolecular attractions. Normally we call it as the van der Waals attractions and all London forces and all these things. So agreed. So that is the nucleus effect is outside the boundary of the molecule. Because of this, the boundary of the molecule has the tendency to attract the and establish the attractions with the other species. These are the residual forces. If this is the case, why are you saying that is only boundary is active and that is solid boundary is active, surface is active and liquid surface is active? What about the body? It is the property of the each and every molecule. Yes, you are correct. Your doubt is correct. But when I take that is a solid or a liquid, so there are many molecules, n number of molecules. This is the surface. This is the interior of the liquid. That is the bulk of, commonly known as the bulk of the liquid. See, this is let me take the one molecule in the bulk, liquid molecule. This is independently, the surface has some unneutralized forces, unneutralized nuclear forces. The nucleus of that molecule is making the, or atom is molecule is making the, that is the some residual forces, creating the some residual attractions. So this is surrounded by the many other molecules of same kind. Symmetrically surrounded by the many other molecules of same kind. This is with its attraction, it is extending its attractions and establishing the attractions with the other molecules. Therefore, that is this molecule which is inside, its surface attractions are neutralized, nullified by the other molecules of same kind. This means symmetrically they are surrounding that molecule and establishing the attractions. Therefore, here residual forces are almost zero. Not only residual forces, if the attractions are established, that is the potential energy or energy content of the this molecule, darkened molecule is decreased. See, the stability is related to the energy. When the potential energy decreases, the stability of the molecule increases. This is more stable. It is more comfortable energetically in the lower energy state because of attractions. Wherever the attractions are generated, it is a common dialogue. Wherever the attractions are generated, what happens? That is equivalent amount of the energy is liberated. So molecule inside the bulk of the material experience the intermolecular attractions. In that process, its energy content decreases, stability increases. Molecule which is no residual forces here. See all the molecules. But you come to the surface. This is the surface molecule. This is the surface molecule. The surface molecule is not that also has the one residual forces. That is from the bottom side below it, that is not symmetrically surrounded by the other molecules. So from upper side, that is the surface is vacant, symmetrical surrounded. Here it may be surrounded by the one molecule like this. So still on this surface, half of the surface or 1/3 of the surface is which is on the exposed to the air. That is, there its attractions are not neutralized. Still it has the partially neutralized. Here fully neutralized, all attractions are neutralized. Here not neutralized. Therefore, some residual forces are left on the surface molecules of the solid and liquid. So due to this, that is surface is in tension. Molecule which is on the surface trying to move inside, the other attractions are not same, equal from the all directions. So anyhow, here the residual attractions are existing here. Residual attractions are existing here. Because of this, that is on particles which are on the surface of the solid still have some residual attractions. These residual attractions of liquids and solids, these residual attractions are responsible for the phenomena of adsorption. Through these attractions, they attract and retain the other molecules which are coming in contact with it. Here, therefore, what happens? If it is exposed to the air, it attracts the nitrogen, oxygen, that molecule, and that is on the surface of the liquid, the nitrogen and oxygen is automatically adsorbed, it is not visible to us. So, phenomena of adsorption is due to the residual forces that is acting along the surface of the solids and liquids. It is a universal phenomena, not a specific, that is liquid, not a specific solid. All solid surfaces show the phenomena of adsorption. All liquid surfaces show the phenomena of adsorption. If I take this charcoal, activated charcoal, That is, if it kept in the air, the surface it is coming into contact with the air, that is, it attracts the molecules of the H2O, that is water vapor present in the atmosphere, it attracts the nitrogen molecules, it attracts the oxygen molecule, entire surface is covered with this one. Through this phenomena, what happens, that is, by attracting and forming the new bonds with the new molecules, that is, decreasing their residual forces, establishing the extra attractions, bonding, that is sort of weak bonding. In that process, what happens? Energy content decreases. By showing the adsorption, the surface molecules are acquiring the stability, minimizing their energy content. So, additional attractions minimize the energy content of the molecule. Therefore, all solid surfaces, all liquid surfaces have the residual forces, leftover residual forces, through residual attractions or residual valencies. Or I can say the word partial valencies. Valency need not be a chemical which was responsible for the chemical bond. It can be a sort of attraction. Due to these residual forces, the all solid surfaces and liquid surfaces show that is phenomena of adsorption. Right? This is the adsorption phenomena. That is, in the phenomena of adsorption, the two species are involved. One is using its surface. The substance which uses its surface provides the surface for the adsorption is called as adsorbent. The substance which is attracted, held upon the surface of the adsorbent is called as the adsorbate. And that is due to this, in that phenomena, that is, the energy content is decreasing, energy is liberated. Therefore, during this process, that is, energy is liberated, adsorption is an exothermic process. That is the different story. Right? This is. Next, there is another procedure known as that is absorption. We will take up in the next class.